Come, Nerevar, come. Witness the Daedric quests in Oblivion Remastered, given to you by those false gods known as Daedric Princes. Honestly, Nerevar, the hero of Kvatch gets subpar quests compared to you and the Dragonborn. In any case, without further delay, let's begin the sermon. Now, Nerevar, I'm going to give you my raw and unfiltered opinions on how lacking some of them are. Well, first of all, the main plot of Oblivion is a Daedric quest. Yes, Nerevar, fighting the cult known as the Mythic Dawn and helping that mongrel dog of the Empire, Martin Septim, fight Mehrunes Dagon are both one massive Daedric quest. Have you ever wondered why the shrine of Mehrunes Dagon is underground while all other shrines are on the surface? Well, that's because the Mythic Dawn is up to no good, and that Enwa Mankar Cameron is too busy opening Oblivion gates and opening a portal to his paradise. What a grand and intoxicating innocence. Also, there's the Mehrunes Razor DLC, where the hero has to crawl through a convoluted and long dungeon. While I do not deny the power of the razor, I do not think it worth crawling across glass to receive.
This is worthless.
Nerevar, unicorns are majestic creatures, but did you know? You can actually find one in Cyrodiil. Well, you could have found one, but the hero of Kvatch got to it first and detached its horn after killing a bunch of minotaurs. Does this mean the hero has betrayed Alessia's kin? Do you know why all of this happened? Because of the quest by that furry false god, Daedric Prince Hircine. Yes, for some reason he wants the unicorn horn, and I don't even want to know what he is going to use it for. Probably the same reason Isolde in Skyrim wants the mammoth's tusk. At least it involves a unique experience, unlike some of these quests. Moving on to the falsest god of all, Azura. After completely and totally derailing my plans in Morrowind, she appears to the hero of Kvatch with a single quest. Clear some vampires from a cave. Seriously, Nerevar? After all the conspiring you and her did in Morrowind, in Oblivion the only thing she requires is the elimination of some vampire Enwas. Vampire Enwas, Nerevar. She could have done something that tied into Morrowind, but instead my name is not even mentioned once in Oblivion and the surrounding DLCs. What a fool she is. This whole mission proves I was right. Azura and her sisters are false gods. They couldn't protect you, sweet Nerevar, and she failed to protect her flock in Cyrodiil. Yet they call her a god? What a grand and intoxicating blasphemy. Moving on to the second falsest god who ever did god. Boethiah in the Tournament of the 10 Bloods is where you get to fight 6 Enwas, 2 farm tools, and 1 Dunmer. Nerevar, we have already broken down Tamrielic races so many times that it would be considered beating a dead Shadowmare at this point. All I am going to say is that the hero of Kvatch represents the people of his race, and takes the place of the contestant that was supposed to represent in its stead. In any case, in Oblivion Remastered, all of them have affinity for lava, and they jump into the lava before the contest even starts. What fools they are. We now move on to Mephala, the third member of the trinity of falsest gods of the false gods, who asks the hero of Kvatch to create a feud between a Dunmer family and an Enwan Nord family in Bleaker's Way. The Dunmer are the great and honorable Davilis, while the Nords are the dishonorable Uthgars. The hero of Kvatch creates a feud between the two families, causing an all-out brawl after eliminating the heads of each. Usually the Dunmer win, but there is a possibility for the Nords to win as well, so be sure to help tip the favor towards the Davilis family. Next, Nerevar, I would like to discuss the Clavicus Vile quest. Clavicus Vile, the Daedric Prince of Bargain, asks you to get Umbra from a warrior who stole it. The hero goes to Pel's Gate, where the master of a student claims that Umbra drove his student crazy. So much so that the edgy Nord Enwa girl started calling herself Umbra. Her hiding spot is the Iliad ruins nearby, where nothing but rats keep her company. Of course, the hero is not alone. A statue of a dog is in his pocket. You may recall the scamp trader you visited on occasion, Nerevar. You know him, you love him, the split half himself, Barvis. Anyhow, he asked the hero not to return the sword to Clavicus Vile and keep it as a reward. Clavicus Vile, in exchange, offers his silly-looking, useless mask. A mask compared to the power of a shard of a Daedric prince himself? Don't be a fool, Nerevar, keep the sword. Ah, yes, Malacath, Boethiah's excrement. Allegedly. He is the most anti-Dunmer prince on this list. So what if Lord Drad wants to use ogres as farm tools? The Dunmer have all the rights in Cyrodiil to use ogres for farm tool purposes, Nerevar. However, Malacath sends the hero of Kvatch not only to liberate the ogres from the estate, but also make Lord Drad and his wife unpaid laborers. Nerevar, only Dunmer are allowed to have that type of laborer. But wait, if there are Dunmer farm tools, I am having an existential crisis, Nerevar. If you are enjoying today's sermon, remember to raise your thumbs, ring the 6th house bell, and write your thoughts on the parchment below. And now for the wee lass herself, straight from the highlands of Scot-I-mean of the Colored Runes. Meridia's quest is similar to Azura's in that it just consists of the hero of Kvatch going to a cave and eliminating some group that goes against the ideals of the false god. In the case of Meridia, it is a bunch of necromancers with overpowered abilities and plenty of zombies. That's it. It's just a mage's guild quest, with only Meridia giving you the quest instead of a mage. Technically, Ilmaril is related to Meridia, but she doesn't even mention him, so if you are not well versed in the lore, you might not realize this. Molag Bal's quest, while simple, is rather interesting. There is a warrior mongrel dog of the Empire, Mellus Petilius, who, after his wife's untimely demise, decided to become a peace-loving, non-violent man, until the hero of Kvatch provokes him at his wife's grave. He uses the cursed mace that the hero placed on the ground. Nerevar, let me pose you a question. If he was truly committed to non-violence, why did he attack the hero? The hero came to him openly, and not by stealth. Mellus is truly dishonored in both life and the 6th house. On to one of the most underwhelming quests, Namira's. She sends you to the ruins of Anga to make her rabid followers attack the priests of that false god RK. Her followers look like Smeagol with an aftershave. But that aside, it is a series of repetitive actions. You find her followers, cast Namira's shroud on them, and they go berserk on the priests. That is it, Nerevar. Literally, that is it. Peryite. Oh, Peryite. The farm tool-looking false god of pestilence and disease. Well, I did not intend to brag, but there is only one disease called the Divine Disease, and he had no part in its creation. His quest has an interesting premise. He sends the hero of Kvatch to his realm, the Pits, to rescue his followers. However, Nerevar, it looks surprisingly like Mehrunes Dagon's realm. Why? Is it because the devs were lazy and did not construct a new Oblivion realm? Or is it because Peryite lied to you and sent you to the Deadlands instead? Either way, there is something strange about that place. So Sanguine, being the false god of debauchery, sends the hero to ruin a party held in Castle Leowen. It is curious why these people are gathered. Is it some sort of a social meeting? The Countess of Leowen is dining with 4 others, Brita Invel and her husband Jairus, Termanwe, and Vlaurmil Aureus. When the spell is cast, everyone, including the hero, becomes dressed in their birthday suit. Talk about coming to the hero openly. While a bit raunchy, this does honor the 6th house in its own blighted way. And now we enter the realm of nightmares. The kind of nightmare that scares not because of content, but because of its tediousness. In Vaermina's quest, you go into some comatose Enwa Altmer wizard's dreams. It is full of nightmare and pure agony going through the grotesque museum that Vaermina put him in because he stole her orb. Or alternatively, the hero of Kvatch can just go through the unlocked hatch that they forgot to lock in Oblivion Remastered. Grab the orb, ponder it a little bit, and miss out on the unique experience that they were given. And now time for the most requested false god of them all, Sheogorath. Just like Mehrunes Dagon, he has a whole elaborate plotline, second only to the main quest. Yes, the whole of the Shivering Isles is technically a Daedric quest. Come to think of it, the only Daedric quest is the Knights of the Nine, but I am getting distracted, Nerevar. Anyway, the hero of Kvatch mantles Sheogorath, and the old Sheogorath becomes Jigalag. Well, now the shrine quest itself is interesting. While it might be the old Sheogorath that responds, or his chamberlain Haskell, the main gist of the quest is to go to the Khajiit farm tool village and start enacting a prophecy that involves a lot of cheese, rats, dead sheep, and raining, burning dogs. Yes, Nerevar, immolated dogs raining on a cat village. Why, one of my ash vampires once had a truly maddening experience. He claims that the quest was initiated by the mad god as we know him now. Curiously, in the middle of the quest, Sheogorath's demeanor and voice suddenly changed, and by the end of the quest the hero was speaking directly with Haskell. A truly insane assertion indeed.
Cheese!
And finally we come to Nocturnal, who wants the hero to find her eye. Not her literal eye, of course, another orb quest. Argonian thieves Vaermina and his wife, Dijine, stole the eye of Nocturnal and hid it in a cave near Leowyn. It is infested by trolls. In any case, this is just another fetch quest. However, the reward is the skeleton key. Nerevar, coming to me by stealth, dishonors the sixth house in the tribe Unmourn, and so does skeleton key abuse. But if you must use it, at least refrain from auto-attempt spamming. Nerevar, after completing all of these false god Daedric quests, the hero of Kvatch will be summoned to Herma Mora's shrine, but unfortunately it is not that easy. There has to be some main quest progress made before beginning his quest. Anyhow, his quest is pretty simple. Collect the soul of each race using his soul capture spell. Basically, the hero of Kvatch runs around capturing Enwas like they are Pokemon. Don't forget to raise your thumbs and subscribe to my sermons as well. I would like to thank all members and patrons for supporting my work.